Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our session this morning. I think part of internationalization and the discussions that we have on campus and with district is really a strong focus on collaboration. So people often meet each other, and it's in that one-to-one session that you go like, well, let's try this, or you put out your idea and you find companionship and coordination with another. That is what has happened to me in working with Alejandra Bueno. When she became the executive director of the district's international program, we started talking to each other, and we have been working on several projects. So my name is Alba de Leon. I teach in the Fine Arts Department. My colleague Karen is here, as well as some other colleagues. I am focused teaching art, but I also have a commitment and did some doctoral work in international education. So this is the other job, the other hat that I've been wearing for a long time. And Alejandra, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much, Alba, and thank you for this invitation. I think it's fantastic, and I love to see so much interest for the topic we're going to be talking about this morning. As Alba said, we started talking about this since from the very beginning when I started in May of 2019, and it's been a very rough year last year, right? At the beginning, we were like, "What are we going to do? We cannot travel." And then we thought, well, this world is more interconnected than ever, and we need to work for a global mindset for our students. So we were working more and learning more about strategies for internationalization in the classroom, at the colleges, in campus. And I believe that's the way to go with the community colleges. A lot of our students cannot travel. And despite COVID or not COVID, there have been some efforts, I would say isolated efforts at the colleges in the past to internationalize the curriculum. And we saw this opportunity. I don't want to call COVID an opportunity, but it really gave us some time for quiet time, for not traveling, not receiving delegations, which is the constant activity that we had at the international office, and gave us some time to rethink, and with great advice from very expert faculty like Alba de Leon that has all the she's always since I met her very propositive, like internationalization starts in the classroom, and that's totally true. And this entire project started from those discussions, from an assessment of where we are as Alamo colleges in terms of internationalization. And I think despite being a lot of interest and despite having efforts here and there, we were short a little bit because a lot of what we were doing, other than sporadic and thanks to the interest that each faculty puts on internationalization and sharing about the world to the students and about comparative views and all that, I think we went short, um, and we stopped the international programs at student mobility. So we were comfortable offering the students the possibility to travel abroad and to receive international students and having some exchanges here or there. So we really had an important, I would say, reflection period. And then we started working with all of you. We created an international faculty committee, and we've been implementing new programs. So we want to talk about that, but we don't want this to be another presentation. We really want this to be interactive, right, Alba?
Yes, so
Why?
so we're going to put slides that have a lot of information. And some of it you may understand, some of it you may not. Our what our attempt was is look at the system that we're operating in, see where you find yourself, ask questions about something that might interest you, or even jot it down. If we can't get to it today, we will get to it one-to-one working with you, because it is about you understanding this and then finding your place there and then pushing out those kind of ideas or adventures that you've been wanting to do academically. Okay? So go ahead and say a little bit about our first
Well, this first slide is about exactly where we were before the pandemic started and where our efforts in the international office and the colleges were kind of happening. We had, as Ronnie knows, a lot of international training and development programs that were slowed down last year because of the new administration in Mexico. We had a lot of groups coming from Mexico, and that was cut short. International students right now, because of COVID and other factors, it's very, very, very low. The enrollment has decreased. Exchanges, we had to cut some exchanges activities that we had planned already because those were face-to-face. And obviously, study abroad was a big, big pain for all of us. We had registered more students than ever. And actually, last year, we had a bittersweet celebration. Some of you participated in the 10-year anniversary of study abroad. So that celebration happened in August of 2020, and we were all connected and celebrating from our Zoom. Nobody was traveling, but it was a good reminder that the world is still there, and Alamo Colleges has been through the participation of over 100 faculty taking the students all over the world. All over the world, literally. I was really, and Alba, and I see here several champions of that, Brad, of course, and Elsa Naya. So I see some of you that have been doing this for years and years, and I think that's like the crown jewel of international education, but not all the students can travel. And during COVID times, that was even more evident. So that's why we came with some ideas. We team up with our faculty, and I want to talk a little bit more about how we did this team up, because it was very important for us to build bridges with faculty. Faculty finally connects international office with students, which is our ultimate goal, right? You are the connection with those students, and you are really the door to the world for them, and not us. We are facilitators. Our office facilitates these programs, and we help you to achieve those goals. So we created a faculty committee, an international faculty committee that was created in October of 2020. Some of you are members of that committee. And if you are not members and you would like to join, you are more than welcome to join that group. I think it's fantastic to talk. We meet every month by Zoom. We invite our foreign partners to introduce themselves, and we get to know them much better. So with that, we added some new programs like collaborative online international learning, which is really virtual exchanges. Some of you, like Hector Garza and Alba de Leon, and some of you and are already, and Elsa Naya, I believe, also are participating in this very exciting opportunity to begin virtual exchanges. We're going to start. We have recruited 9 faculty that are our founders of virtual exchanges at Alamo Colleges, and we're very, very excited for that. And obviously, we have tried to go virtual in these times and having lots of opportunities to have conversations with our partners from around the world and make them public for our students. And I don't know if a lot of you also participated in International Education Week. We did a very large pool of activities for our students, for our community. And also we created another activity called Global Engagement Network for International Education. I don't know if you would like to add
Okay, so I think this is the point. Where do you see yourself here? We'd love to get some feedback from you, or just give you some time to think about where you might find yourself pre-COVID or post-COVID, and any comments that you'd like to make or questions that you have, so we can begin a roundtable discussion here.
I like the looking at the collaborative online international learning, and I'm interested in getting my students connected with students abroad to do to solve logistics and supply chain problems for industry. So my vision is to get a industry problem and then connect students from abroad with our students, and they collaboratively work together to provide industry a solution. And so and I don't know exactly which one of these it fits more into, but I'd probably need some help with that.
But Ronnie, that's exactly what internationalizing the curriculum is. You already have an assignment. You've already internationalized your curriculum. You're just merely looking for the other component.
Right.
And that's how easy it happens for faculty. I think many faculty don't even realize that what they teach and how they choose to teach is already internationalized. So we need to find you a partner.
Okay, great.
Okay.
That's correct. That's correct. You need to go to the trainings of COIL, and then we'll find you a partner. Let me tell you a little bit more about COIL, which is Collaborative Online International Learning. So we at the district, we have joined for all of us several networks that are available of a lot of faculty, a lot of people in the world that is already doing virtual exchanges. Okay. So we have access to more than, I would say, like 300 potential partners with whom you can connect, and they are already doing COIL. The other possibility, like Alba is doing, is Alba works very comfortably with a partner from India, right? And actually, she's coming soon in a faculty exchange. And the other possibility is that we help you to coordinate a virtual exchange with your favorite partner in the world. A lot of you probably have friends teaching at other universities. Okay. You want to do COIL with them, you can do COIL with them, and we can help you to make that happen. So that's the beauty of this program, that there are many around the world that are ready to do COIL with you, to do virtual exchanges. There's a big, big pool of faculty from around the world that we can have access, and they will come and they will do COIL with you. They will do virtual exchanges. You feel more comfortable with your friends from around the world, we help you to set up.
I'm gonna feel so comfortable here to call out Hector, who I know got involved in COIL because we were in different classes but doing the same thing. And maybe you can, Hector, you wanna share some of your experience?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I wanna reiterate that Alejandra said is the whole idea is you already have partners. I started on my journey to COIL when one of my colleagues who teaches at one of the universities in Mexico called me and said, "Hey, do you want to COIL?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But she introduced me to the whole concept, and then because of that, I then started. I'm part of the international committee at district. Had already kind of heard some of the things that were going on, and so it made it easy. And I think that's the best. I will COIL with her once we kind of figure all this out. But I think that's just the starting point. That then opens up other opportunities to collaborate with other universities and other partners. So yeah, and I think that what's exciting for me is like the Teatro Palo Alto already has that bent toward focusing on works by Latinx and Latino playwrights and bringing an international flavor to it and doing translations and or doing things in multiple languages is exciting for our students. So it's doing what you already have, finding those partners or friends that you already work with and starting there.
It is true, and we are very grateful because we started with this initiative and we've seen a lot of excitement from our faculty. I mean, I was very impressed that we are going to be able to start COILing in the next semester, in the fall of 2021, I'm sorry. And that's fantastic. We had like 2 exchanges a year for the entire Alamo Colleges district that were face-to-face, and fantastic. Those exchanges should continue. Same as study abroad. That's not going to stop. On the contrary, we want more students to go and have the experience. But what happens with the students that cannot go? And that's the main concern. And right now, nobody can go, right? So this possibility, and probably that's going to be the same for a year more, or more. Who knows? But it's fantastic that your students, through you, can have this experience, and probably limited by the technology, but at the end, those are students that will be talking to students, and will be going through the same components of a course, and they're probably in a very different places, and they will have opportunity to interact. So I'm very happy for this development. I'm very happy that you heard about COIL before, and that what's got you really engaged. It's fantastic. And we're here to help you to set it up, everything with your partner, or to put a partner for you.
Okay. So we have some other slides that we want to move through, and I just want to make a note right here that Erin, this is also open to adjuncts and anybody else here who's an adjunct. So in the last slide, identify if you want more information, contact me or Alejandra, and we'll move through that. And here we will, I think this is apparent to everybody what it is that we try to do in the classroom when you're interested in internationalization.
Well, this slide and the next one links a little bit our institution with what we are doing, why we are doing this. And really, those are things that anchor our activity to the roots of Alamo colleges. Why this is important? Well, there are two parts, two big components. One is called the Alamo Way, and there are very few objectives. I don't know if you're familiar with those strategic objectives, but we made it there. I think I'm very happy for that. We made it there because one of our strategic objectives is to incorporate personal and social responsibility, global citizenship, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. So this activity is supported and it's encouraged, I would say, by our leadership. The other thing, and why the district is very involved in this, well, we are supporting all the charges to the chancellor made by the Board of Trustees. And here you can see how we can share with you this slide, and we can leave it here. But this is an important discussion because this is the why. And this is where we would like for you to just be candid and try to think, why are we doing this? I think it's very important when we understand the why. Well, we get excited. We want to do this because we know that this is good for the students, that we open the doors to the world for the students. But this is something that we welcome at different levels. And I just want to leave the floor open for anyone that would like to talk about that. We have identified that we contribute through international education to achieve a lot of the goals of the chancellor, that means the district and our administration, and to achieve the goals of the strategic objectives for Alamo colleges. So with that, I'd like to say that it's in the minds of our leaders and in the minds of the overall institution that international education is important. It's worth to spend time on it. It's worth to do things, and we want to instill that into our students. We want to form a global mindset in the formation of our students. Then we can talk more about global competencies and marketable skills for the students and all that, but we'll get there. But right now it's a little bit like why we are interested in doing this, why this is important, why this is supported.
Alejandra, I'd like to say that all the events that were done during, and they were all Zoom events that were done during International Week, I think more opportunities were offered to our students. I mean, I know that I sent to all my students, you know, you want to go to Egypt, you want to go to Greece, you want to go to this virtual event. So even though it was a virtual event, I think well, at least I know I was able to give the link to my students and tell them, go and then write something about it. And I found that that was really amazing. So I don't know if you have any statistics on if you had more participation from students that attended that kind of event to then be able to talk about it. Because I thought all the events we have on campus are great, but all of the virtual events that were shown during that week, it was amazing. The pictures, the commentators, the faculty that had been, they did an excellent job. And there were so many. I thought that was really, really great. So I hope that continues, because it really is an easy way to expose our students to the world. And since we hadn't ever done that before, I mean, we were pressed to do something, but I have to congratulate you and your committee by being able to offer so much for students to have. And I got really positive comments from students attending all of these different events, and they were short. But it exposed them to the different countries. So the possibilities of them maybe thinking, you know what, I think I might want to travel abroad after seeing these presentations and visuals. I thought that y'all did an excellent job on choosing the different places and the speakers and the PowerPoints or the videos that they used. I just really loved it. And then to see comments from students, I appreciated that. So I hope you all keep it up, because
thank you, Elsa. I wrote that as a suggestion. I think that's wonderful, because that's exactly what we wanted to get out of this session. Our recommendations, especially from faculty who work with students in this. So to keep a virtual component along with any face-to-face activities that we go doing forward would be wonderful.
I concur. Can I add something to that? I was able to attend one where, and I've done this before. I've gone virtually to museums through Google, and I know you can do that, but it was so much more enhanced by the speaker who took us to the museum in Mexico where she had been and showed us particular artifacts and what she knew about them. I think it makes such a difference. We can all do things in the virtual world, but to do a virtual tour and to actually go see that place, it's fantastic. I bet Brad could do that with his travel abroad. And I would love to see that, because we can all do a lot of the visitation online, but to be with somebody who's there and can point out things to us like a tour guide is just fantastic.
It's wonderful to hear that. Let me give you some statistics, some data that came out of the participation. We had 36 events. We hosted 36 events. We partnered with the 5 colleges. Faculty was obviously the main star of this. They all took the students to the world, and we all participated in faculty sessions talking about internationalization. I mean, there was so much to choose about, and it was not our office. What we did is to put together the overall thing, and we worked with everyone, but really it was an effort from the 5 colleges. It was beautiful to see a successful event happening where everybody collaborated. And at the end, there was interest for anyone. I mean, your faculty, even for parents, there were events in Spanish, there were events with students from around the world, there were events for anyone. We had more than 3,500 people attending those events, because we promoted not only with Alamo College, but really with the community. We wanted to make this a festivity, right, of international education. And yes, of course, Dr. Anaya, we really intend, I feel that it was a successful exercise, a beautiful week, and got us very excited about international education. And Alba gave me a wonderful, wonderful idea that now that we are going strong in the effort of internationalization in the classroom, definitely International Education Week can become one tool for that. So if you as a professor host one event and take your students around the world in something related to what you do during International Education Week, students can go, can participate, can learn, and you're adding a layer of internationalization to your classroom. So definitely we plan to keep this virtual International Education Week for way beyond. I think we've learned an important lesson that a lot of students can participate. It's more open, I would say.
I've also put in the chat just a message. It's not too early to start thinking about maybe participating in International Education Week. It happens this third week in November every year. So if you're thinking, oh, I'd like to do a presentation, contact me and I'll try to work with PAC's international. I will work with PAC's International Education Committee as well as with district to see how we can make that happen.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful, beautiful. It was a
does
partnership exercise around international education. It was beautiful to see so much excitement, so much engagement from 5 colleges. And Alba gave us a wonderful idea. Para variar.
Okay, any comments about that? Anything else? Anybody want to share anything?
I was gonna say, since I did the Mexico one, it was for presenting in that format, doing it virtually. I know I did it for the whole study abroad, and then me and Lori did it. We did one together, the Freedom Museum. But I did get a lot of comments back from my students because even though I do talk about this in class, they felt like I was taking them on a field trip over there. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm trying to change my my courses where I can do the virtual tours on all the other museums for some of my classes because of what I got feedback on that one, even though it wasn't specifically for my class, but it ended up working out that way.
Thank you. We're so glad to hear this feedback.
Thank you so much. And again, this is an open invitation to everyone to participate next year in November, around November. Plan about putting together an event, something that is related to your courses or any subject that you believe your students will add to their learning objectives and will learn from around the world, from international education, and work with Alba, work with us, and we'll make it happen together. I think it was beautiful, and that happened because of the pandemic, but I think it's here to stay. Everybody loved it, and I love that all the students from the 5 colleges could attend.
Okay, Alejandra has just put up for us the comprehensive internationalization process and the components to it that are currently taking place. Again, if you'll look at these and see what kind of interests you have or where you identify for yourself, maybe here, that would be fabulous, because it will mean that you can take this workshop and then move out in terms of making use of your interests and your expertise, and for many of y'all, your passion. We highlighted curriculum and co-curriculum learning outcomes because it is something that we think closely touches the classroom. So,
yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, finish. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I am finished.
Yes, so we made the analysis of what is comprehensive in internationalization for institutions of higher education. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I think we were very active on the first 3. We had support from the institution and we had student mobility. But then we created the faculty committee to support faculty policies and practices. And now we are going into this very ambitious pathway of doing the curriculum and learning outcomes more internationalized and through collaborations and partnerships. OFEI, I'm sorry, stands for Opportunity for Improvement. It's a language that we use a lot at the district. That means that those are areas where we would like to focus going forward. So we are actually working right now with a consultant. This is not yet final, but this is how the competencies that we are going to work through internationalization in the classroom. We would like to see through, instead of knowledge, skills, and attitudes that you are probably familiar with, we're going to use global awareness, global perspective, and global engagement. So the effort to go in internationalization in the classroom will be targeted toward these competencies, these global competencies. So this is an effort that can be aligned with Alamo experience and with digital badges also. So a student can earn those digital badges that demonstrate their participation in international activities. So this is a little extra information about any discussion that, Alba, you suggest on this slide.
I basically am asking people in the chat to look at these and to also look at their own courses, because I know that district is building and identifying courses that have these components, and that we will be looking and reviewing at that through a committee that has been established. So I just put that information in the chat. Does anybody have any comments that they'd like to make about this?
I have a question.
Please.
It says one per course content. So are you talking about one of the bullets per course, or one bullet in each category per course, or how is this mixed?
Yeah, let me tell you, Brad, we are right now having meetings with a consultant. She's helping us to shape this language in a way that it can be fluid to the work we're going to be doing, and we can all agree in a language and values and skills and learning outcomes and all that. So we're still working on that, but my understanding is that what it suggested is that every classroom has one from each category per course content. So if we are going to internationalize, that is the plan. You need to have one of each, but that can change. I know you are a member of this working committee, and I'm about to contact everyone because we are almost ready to begin the working process. We have hired one consultant, as I mentioned, that is helping us to shape this I would say, this language, and we will be ready to begin very soon. And so we're very excited for that, because that's going to be a big thing for I would say for the district and for students. So this program of internationalization in the classroom is related with this new program that is called Alamo Global Student Distinction Program. I just want to take a minute to explain how it works, because it's important that you see where it fits this concept of internationalization in the classroom. It's really going to be something that is going to give something to the students. So when a course is recognized as internationalized, it will give miles to the students, miles that can turn into a recognition upon graduation and a digital badge that puts them in the category of ambassador, Ambassador, or Alamo diplomat, or Alamo citizen. So a student participating in qualifying international activities, either study abroad or exchanges, or by going to internationalized courses, they will earn miles, and then they will build up to this distinction system. So that's the first time that an internationalized course will play a role in this, in the accumulation of miles for this distinction. And we really want them to become proud and to show to their employers upon their graduation that they have earned these skills. So any question until now, up to this point? This program is going to be launch in the spring of 2022.
And just because I'm the one keeping time, we have 9:42 and we go until 9:50. So we recognize that this is a lot of information. You will have access to this presentation because we are recording it. And also, again, we can set up a one-to-one session if you'd like to go over more material. But okay, let's go to the next slide unless there's a question here.
I think Linda had a question.
No, I was just going to mention that I will be putting a link in the chat for the evaluation. So please also take time as we finish to complete that. I'll put it in there now, but please wait till the end to fill out.
No, I know, Linda, that we're always doing double duty. I mean, this is just part of being here. Okay.
So where we are in terms of internationalization? Well, we work in identifying the thousands. I don't know exactly how many there are courses that are being offered at the 5 colleges. And some of them that are obviously international because of the subject, because it's on their face they are international, they have been identified. We have 146 multiplied by the times that those courses are taught by the different faculty or by the different colleges. And this is a list, a little bit, a snapshot of that list of how we identify these courses. And you can see that every course might be like in intermediate German right here. So it's been taught at St. Philip's, at San Antonio College, and it looks like it's international. We don't want to impose anything as international office. So we have created this committee that will be in charge of validating this list. First of all, here you see, they're going to validate the list of 146. They're going to approve courses that instructor believe it has an international component, like probably we have here a faculty that teaches math, right? And probably she will come and say, hey, I teach history of math in the world, and that's part of my course. And so I would like my course to be included in the list. That's one possibility. And the third one is, like, I teach math. I don't think I have my course internationalized, but I want the committee to help me to get the tools so I can internationalize my course. And then the course will make it to the list of internationalized courses. Any questions?
No, but I'd like to make a comment that this is where you can find friends at other campuses who are teaching similar courses, and they will share with you what is, you know, in looking at syllabi also. When you look at other faculty syllabi, you'll see maybe a notation, and this is how friendships, a lot of my friendships across the colleges have been made by our similar interests in internationalizing our courses. So
Yeah,
consider that also.
And that links also with what we were talking about International Education Week, because let's say you are that professor of math and you want to bring internationalization to your classroom. Then by you participating in International Education Week and bringing your students to International Education Week and ask them to go to one activity and participate in the activity that you put together for them and for others, because all the events are open to all pretty much, the student will gain that, and your course will get that recognition of internationalized course. So it's a win-win for everyone. And International Education Week is a very important tool of that internationalization toolkit.
So we have about 4 more minutes, and we want
I think we're reaching the end.
And so maybe we can just go through these slides.
Alba, let me just ask Alba, please.
Yes, Thomas.
You mentioned that we could link up with our colleagues in other colleges or other alumni districts. How do we do that through this facility you have?
You want to link to other faculty within Alamo colleges, or are you talking internationally?
No, with the alumni colleges. Maybe they teach similar course than what I teach, and I want to link up with them. Is this a vehicle to be able to link up with them?
Absolutely. I think just, I didn't catch your area of interest or your courses.
Oh, I think technology at PAC.
Okay, great. Technology at PAC. So what I would do, Thomas, is I would just work with you personally to see who's teaching technology or similar courses on other campuses.
Okay.
And then let's just approach them.
Okay.
It's simple as that. We can send an email and say, hey, do you know that my course has an international component? Are you doing something similar? That's what I would do. But Thomas, I'll get your email.
Okay.
I will add that we are working with HR and with the district, and we really want to create like a club, right, of those faculties that are teaching. So once we have the list and once we have identified all the courses that are internationalized, it's going to become like a club. Later on, we probably can have one meeting per year or one event where everybody gets together and talk about what they do in their courses. We really want this to make it very interactive, exciting, especially for faculty. And there will be more opportunities. The way to go right now is really to contact by email or as Alba said. But in the future, we really plan to put a lot of opportunities for interactions because I think that's the way to grow this. And these are the areas where we have identified a lot of international courses as we have identified, but we need the committee to, this is our guru for this entire process. We have been working with her just a little bit. We just hired her, but she's fantastic. She has a lot of experience. She has brought up to line in the internationalization of the curriculum many institutions. And the working group will be working with her a lot. And she has a lot of experience and very happy to bring her to this.
So we have about 1 minute for you to complete your survey as requested by Linda. And also, we're open to any suggestions. We knew we were going to be presenting a lot of information. We wanted it to give you opportunity to speak as much as possible. And so, let us know if we should try to do this again or if we presented too much or what. We really are open to your recommendations and suggestions. Thank you for coming. It's 9:49, so you have, a little bit of time to complete the survey.
Thank you, and I'm going to stop the recording now.